Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Maryam Zamani, and you're watching Harper's Bazaar Arabia Ask the Doctor. I think it's really important whenever you're looking for any cosmetic procedure or even non-cosmetic, just more functional. I think it's really important to be able to determine the credentials of the person who's injecting you or treating you, if it's with a laser or machinery or injectables, whatever course of action you're about to take. So I think it's really important to go to somebody who is very accomplished in the area that you want to treat and has the experience. The experience is not only for the treatment, but it's also for potential side effects. Because if you do have a problem, you need to be followed by a doctor that knows how to treat those problems. And sometimes having a rapid response, a good rapid response after a complication can determine the outcome of that complication. So very important to determine the credentials of the person who's injecting you. Second, I always think that it's very important to know what injectables you're being treated with. So a lot of people come in and they say, I just want to do this, and they don't know, they've signed consent forms, but they don't really know what they're having done. Make sure you know what product's being injected and what treatment you're having done. This may not seem important at the time, but again, in the unlikely event that you do have a complication, it is important to know what you've been treated with so that we can know how to try and reverse that if need be. So make sure you know what you're having injected and make sure the doctor who's treating you is well versed in the treatments that they're doing. And third is to know the complications and what signs to look for. Sometimes patients don't know what to look for and don't know they've had a complication until a few days later. For instance, a bruise is not resolving, and actually it's not a bruise, it's actually something more serious. And so it is important to know what the potential complications could be and what to expect after having had a treatment. So sometimes with lasers you might have prolonged redness or a little bit of swelling. Similarly with injectables you may have a little bit of swelling or bruising afterwards. It's good to know what to expect after having a treatment as well. And finally, I think the other important note here is to find a doctor that you trust and stick to one doctor. I think it's important to not go to too many different doctors and have too many different opinions and have different products used on and in your face. So remember, injectable fillers are treatments that and products that will stay within the skin for a substantial period of time. So you should look at them a little bit like having an implant. So it is an implant that will stay there, maybe not for years, but it will definitely stay there from months to a couple of years. So I think it is really important that you maintain a good rapport with the doctor who's treating you and not go to too many different people. The other reason for not going to too many different people is that every time you have a treatment done, you're ever so slightly altering yourself. And it's amazing that the mind forgets what you look like 10 minutes before you had the treatment done. So sometimes you have a treatment done and that becomes your new norm, and then you go to somebody else who doesn't know what you look like and doesn't have your pictures from before, and they do a little tweak, and then you've changed yourself a little bit more. And so the purpose of all of these treatments are not to make you look like someone different, it's to give you the best version of you. And I think sometimes having that continuity of care is really important to achieve the best result for yourself. Don't chase what other people look like. You should always have a plan that is made for you. I think having a bespoke plan is extremely important, and I think there is danger in having, for instance, the Kylie look or the Bella Hadid look. Of course, they're gorgeous young models, but everybody's face is created differently, and you should strive to be the best version of yourself and not try to emulate someone else necessarily. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions or want to get in contact, please see the link below.